Hi, Sarah Childress back with you. Today I'll be looking at lighting direction, which is arguably one of the best ways to express a character's inner life. There are 5 main lighting directions: front, back, top, under, and side. Frontal lighting may be used to draw our attention to a character or to distinguish them narratively. In The Lost Boys, vampires glow, and alpha vampire David glows brightly, as if to signal his strength and undead vitality. It may seem ironic to bathe the figure of darkness in light, but here frontal lighting is used to illuminate Jack Torrance as he undergoes a kind of enlightenment, gaining a more expanded sense of himself and his hellish power. Here too, frontal lighting is used to signal awareness, as Nadia begins to understand that she is in the time and body of her mother Lenora. We've seen frontal lighting used to express strength and awareness. Here, it's used to indicate innocence, empathy, and a kind of purity of intention. As Ophelia says a kind of prayer to her unborn brother, asking him to spare their mother from suffering and hurt. Guillermo del Toro frontally lights Ophelia throughout the film as a way to show that she is one of the few, or perhaps the only, rays of light in this world of darkness. Next, backlighting, which is conventionally used to hide the identity of certain characters. In All the President's Men, backlighting is used to obscure the identity of the secret informant who shared information about the Nixon administration's involvement in the Watergate break-in. Backlighting is perhaps most famously used in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, where it keeps us from knowing who the killer is, but also it makes the murder even more shocking and horrifying because it's done by a faceless assailant. While frontal lighting can be used to signal awareness, backlighting can do just the opposite. It can indicate a moment of confusion, disbelief, even horror. Kay can hardly believe what he's seeing as he walks into a room filled with child laborers who are also for sale.
Give this to Clemenza. I want reliable people that aren't going to be carried away. I mean, we're not murderers, in spite of what this undertaker says.
And now top lighting, which was perhaps made most famous in The Godfather. As you can see, top lighting throws the eyes into shadows. And if the eyes are the window of the soul, then we can see that there's some pretty dark souls here. Which is why top lighting is a great way to signal immoral or dangerous motivations. Though here, high contrast, hard top lighting is used to give us a sense that this innocent victim of a horrible crime is in the very midst of experiencing trauma. She's lost a sense of herself, she's lost a sense of possibility, and she's lost her ability to envision a way out of this situation. Let's call this a pre-awareness moment of confusion. Here, top lighting is also used to signify trauma and its after effects. But it also indicates something a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and a little bit darker, as we come to find out by the film's end.
You okay, Mom? What?
Perhaps you've told ghost stories around a campfire and used a flashlight underneath your face to give yourself a spooky appearance. Underlighting in film conventionally draws on that experience and on that effect. In this example, a bar's underlighting further distorts and disfigures Jack Torrance's face, as if externalizing the madness and violence within him, turning his face into a grotesque mask.
I did hurt him once, okay?
Espérate, toma, para que se vea chingón.
The underlighting here seems to fit the context of campfire stories, but it also works like the frontal lighting in Pan's Labyrinth, reflecting the innocence of the children and announcing them as beacons of hope for the future, while also underscoring their vulnerability in this dark world that surrounds them.
Y lo mataron.
And last, but certainly not least, we have side lighting, which historically has been used to show characters undergoing inner turmoil or conflict. Characters that are riddled with self-doubt and uncertainty, unsure of who they are and their significance.
I made a bad joke. You're not a replicant. Go home, okay?
Building on that foundation, we have in this clip an illustration of how side lighting can be used to show remorse. Exasperated by her baby brother's crying, Sarah has conjured up the Goblin King, who kidnaps her brother and takes him to his castle in the labyrinth. Side lighting shows her remorse and fear, while also letting us know that all is not lost. A hero is born here. In this key scene, two women who love one another but are at odds have a showdown. The conflict isn't internal, but in their relationship.
I'm gonna get older and make a lot of money and write you a check for what I owe you so that I never have to speak to you again.
Well, I highly doubt that you will be able to get a job good enough to do that.
Neither can see the other side, and communication completely breaks down. In this scene from Hunger, side lighting works almost like backlighting. On a hunger strike, Bobby Sands asked to speak to a priest. Though he says he believes in what he's doing and can see past his doubts, as the priest confirms, he does have doubts. We learn that his uncertainty does not come from his cause or willingness to act on its behalf, but from the realization that it may require him to sacrifice his life.